Okay, so I'm going to talk about Cradle Cap and what we did to prevent it. After my first son and him having it really, really bad and losing like most of his hair all on the top of his head, I mean, he was kind of embarrassing. It was just that it bothered me to see all the flakes, so I was always messing with it, and so it was really probably my fault that he lost his hair. So the second time around, I was kind of determined to make sure that my son lost the least amount of hair possible. And it's worked out really nicely so far. The only hair he's lost is basically the hair just right on the back of his head because he lays on his back while he's sleeping. So, but other than that, that's really all the hair that he's lost. But basically, from the start, we didn't wash his hair a lot because it just seemed to dry it out. But when we did wash his hair, you could start to see kind of, you know, the white buildup starting, and right then and there I already knew. I was like, oh, I hope I'm not going to have to deal with Cradle Cap again. But of course, that was exactly what I was going to be handed. So I started trying to figure out what I could do to try and prevent it, and to keep it from getting to be like extremely bad. I saw that Red Cross made a little Cradle Cap brush. I went ahead and I bought that, and I will say don't use it. I read a lot of the reviews saying that it did clear up, you know, the Cradle Cap, which I'm sure it probably did, but I'm sure it probably took all of the kids' hair with it, because that was the first time that I used it. You know, little bits of his hair were already falling out, and I just told myself no, I wasn't going to use that anymore. So basically what I did was I'd kind of wait for a day when I knew that we weren't really going to go out in public, and I would take some olive oil, and since the stuff's like super, super greasy, I would put some on a paper towel and I would just kind of rub it on his head. So he looked really, really greasy the entire day, but it really rehydrated his scalp. So it was already, I mean, it didn't take very much and for very long. I just left it on the entire day, and at night I went ahead and I used the Mistela foam shampoo for newborns, and washes away flakes associated with Cradle Caps. So I went ahead and I applied that to his hair at night, and it was already just so much better. So I'd wait, you know, a few more days in between the next shower and the next, well, I'd still bathe him, but I just wouldn't wash his hair because it just seemed that I would just overly dry it out and I would make the flakes worse. So I would probably wait 3 more days and I'd wash his hair again, and I would, you know, repeat the olive oil, and I would use the foam shampoo again, the Mistela foam shampoo, and it just seemed like maybe in like a week or 2, it was all gone. Now occasionally, you know, due to weather changes and such, it seemed like his scalp and his skin all over was getting dry, so it seemed like the dryness was coming back to his scalp, and I just kept using the Mistela foam shampoo, and I'm still using it even though I know it says for newborns and my son's almost 6 months old, but he has no Cradle Cap whatsoever, like no flakes, nothing. It's just all gone, and he's been able to keep all of his hair. So I mean, I feel so bad. I see the other babies and I see their scalps red and irritated and their hair's missing. So if you're having trouble with Cradle Cap, I really, really, really recommend, you know, just trying some olive oil. Some people use baby oil too. Just, you know, you obviously don't want to just soak them in it. You don't want it running all down them. Just enough just for the hair area. You don't want it at all running down into their face, into their eyes, nothing like that. Just something to really rehydrate the skin. And that really seemed to cut back any of our flakes. And using the Mistela newborn foam soap or shampoo, that really helped too, and we haven't had any problems since. And I just totally threw away the Red Cross Cradle Cap brush because all that was doing was just taking out his hair. So I don't recommend that brush. It might get rid of the flakes, but it's going to get rid of the hair too. So if you'd like your baby to keep his or her hair, I would just look into using some olive oil or some baby oil, rehydrate the skin, cutting back on the bathing and well, just for the shampooing of the hair, maybe, you know, every couple of days. And if it still seems to be a problem, maybe just space it out a little bit longer, maybe once a week. I mean, obviously you can still give your child a bath, just avoid the head, you know, because you just need them to learn how to regulate their own oils and get their scalp rehydrated. But yeah, so I'd recommend the olive oil, baby oil, and the Mistela newborn shampoo, the foam shampoo. So yes, hopefully you can all solve your cradle cap problems as well.